Well, welcome back here live from Homestead, the SuperKarts USA Winter Series, round number 3 main for the X30 senior class. Coming your way, 39 drivers here as they make their way off the starting grid and will start to make their way out to the racetrack. It'll be time for one full half warm-up lap, I should say. I can't say full warm-up lap because they're going to need to form up here early on in the circuit. But the starting grid coming up. Here we go. Let's go ahead and take you in front to back to make sure we at least talk about the guys we'll be seeing at the front of this 40 kart helm. First up, starting on the pole, your 3 final winner and championship points leader, Mateus Morgado. And to his outside, again, we mentioned it plenty of times over, his return after a month-and-a-half break, Ryan Norberg.
Row 2, a couple of pretty impressive drivers. The driver who could go for Rookie of the Year this year, Carson Morgan, starting on the inside, Diego Ramos on the outside, P4.
Moving to row number 3, making his first SuperKarts USA start of 2022, which should be one of many. Marjan Kremers from the Netherlands. And PSL karting starts to the inside of Alessandro De Tullio.
Former Florida Winter Series winner Aaron Benoit starting 7th alongside Paul Bocuse in the 371.
Hannah Greenemeyer, your reigning SuperKarts USA Pro Tour champion, starts to the inside of the edge of the top 10 to her outside, the number 308 RPM Tony Kart of Paulie Massimino. Quickly going back here, Rob. That's your top 10. There's plenty more. Here we are. We're about to go green.
Hold on, folks. The drivers getting into their staging lanes. We're getting ready to go underway with X30 Senior. Green, green, green as they race into turn number 1. 2, 3 wide, a bit further back. Leaders tucking in nicely. They'll go 2 wide out of the corner, down back to the turn 2 corner. They're out of turn 2 to 3, and it's a great start there for Ryan Norberg. He goes P1. Driver slotting in right behind him as well. Morgado goes into the second spot. Xander, what a start for Ryan Norberg.
Norberg had the nose out in front here. Braden, I mean, you were watching them. You've seen a few guys be able to kind of, not necessarily bully, but definitely strong-arm their way to the lead from the outside row. Would you say that was clean enough?
Yeah, it was a really clean start. It's always hectic at this circuit on the first lap. Everyone got through cleanly and pretty even gaps between all the drivers. So we'll see how they all pan out in the next couple of laps.
Well, let's see it here, Rob. Morgado got it back in turn 9. Yeah. Norberg back to second. So that quickly gets righted. And it's a long line of go-karts here, probably about 7 or 8 deep before we get back to Hannah Greenemeyer there at the edge.
Yeah, and there we go, Norberg back by again. It was a good move from Morgado to the inside of the hairpin, turn number 9. Right back out of here in turn number 2 goes Ryan Norberg. As people are kind of slotting in here right now, Ramos goes into that 3rd spot. And again, this is all about the opening couple of laps, drivers getting into a row, kind of stretching away a little bit. You always kind of see that opening group stretch away, whatever it may be, 5, 6, maybe 8 drivers. Then you can start to go to work, and we're seeing that happen a little deeper in the field. De Tullio starting to get a little aggressive here as well, as we have a couple of drivers together further back. But nonetheless, up front, Ryan Norberg in the 303. Rollison goes back to P1.
Came across the line there in 17th with a pirouette coming out of turn 9, and they are still all over Norberg here in the infield, Rob.
3-driver breakaway right now. Norberg, Morgado, and Ramos with a little bit of room in there. Morgado shoves his way by down the inside. Norberg will go back to 3. They had a bit of a gap as Ramos has now gone to 2nd. Norberg into 3rd. That is Aaron Benoit having a really good run here. He is up into the 4th spot. Hannah Greenemeyer went purple last time by, solidifying her position inside the top 10. Paul Bocuse, Cole Morgan, Nate Cicero, and Carson Morgan rounding out the early top 10.
Diego Ramos pulling a big move. Oh, maybe. I take that one back. Diego Ramos, your new leader out of turn 8, Rob.
Yeah, he said, what do you say, Xander? No. I'm gonna go for it.
He wants to win too. You're right.
He goes down to the inside. This is a pretty aggressive run early on. Marjan Kremers coming up here as well in that PSL Karting Burrell Art Machine. He actually went purple last time by, and that is Kremers at the tail of the lead quartet. A little bit further back to the national number 1 plate holder, Hannah Greenemeyer. She's gone by Aaron Benoit. So move Greenemeyer up into the 5th position, and she had great points, Sandra, in the opening round. A couple of top 5 finishes, so she's most definitely the championship fight as well. As we said, you never know what can happen in the tech barn, on the racetrack. Morgado to the inside, book it. He goes back to the lead. Stack him back up again. Ramos back to P2.
Braden, you have been the driver that has probably come out and jokingly, even with Norberg and the rest of them back at Miami Grands last year, is the guy that somehow wins these massive fights. Where do you want to be? What is going on right now here? Because Greenemeyer just got 4th, more passing for the lead with Morgado. I mean, what are you thinking right now as a driver somewhere maybe 5th or 6th in this line?
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be a lot of holes opening up. The guy that's in front is going to be trying to back everyone up so that he can, people start battling and he can get a gap and get a lead. It's definitely not going to slow down anytime soon. These guys are battling back and forth. Now, everyone has an opportunity in the front pack to win this race, and they all know that, so it's going to be really aggressive here in the next couple of laps.
And is there any secret to getting through this stuff?
Yeah, good question.
I think it's just a feel thing, knowing who the drivers are, knowing who's aggressive, who's maybe a bit too aggressive, who doesn't know how to be aggressive and get away with it. So it's always just knowing what to expect from the other drivers and looking for the hole and going for it when you have it.
Ramos made a big move down to the inside of Norberg in turn number 8. Norberg crisscrossed him, got the better run out of the corner. He gets the lead back up to turn number 9. Ramos slotting into second, Morgado third. Kremer's kind of standing back there in the cheap seats watching this all happen, kind of letting things unfold. Braden, are you surprised by this at all? Because this is really hectic racing. We're 5 laps in, there's 17, 16 to go. Any surprise with how aggressively they're driving right now?
No surprise here. I mean, I think it's going to calm down a little bit now that Ryan Norberg has a couple of kart length lead. Now these guys are going to know that they can't battle, or else he's just going to be able to get too far ahead.
Is all this passing trying to be the disruptor, or are you trying to kind of shake everybody up to drop people off the back? Is that why you do it?
Yeah, when you're in the front, you definitely want to battle, because so many times I've, just bluffed because I know somebody's going to try to make a move, and then third place goes for second. I get 2 kart length lead, and then check out from there.
Event of the day.
Yeah, and looking back, the battles are all over the racetrack. Here's Cameron Weinberg, your fastest in happy hour, just put Louis Westover through the dirt. Westover's just been getting muscled. We caught a good angle of him getting moved around in the early part of the January event, and he now finds himself behind Alessandro Di Tullio as that pack exits turn number 8. Let's go back. Norberg lost a lot more there through the infield. What was going on right there, I'm not sure, but now that gap is down to 2 car lengths back to Mateus Morgado.
You're right. It was a massive gap at one point. Now it's almost just about a kart length, maybe 2, coming out of 9 over to turn number 10, 11, and 12. Not sure what happened there, whether or not it was Norberg that fell off or Morgado just nailed it. Again, Braden talked about having that kart come in the way you want it. Let's see what happens here.
What do you see there, Braden? It looked like you kind of got a bit of a better eye on it than we did.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like maybe a bit of commentator's curse. As soon as I said that he was looking pretty, I don't know. It looks like Morgado has just absolutely dropped a couple tenths there. I mean, he's left Greenmeyer behind. He's running down Norberg. Seems like his kart is just absolutely on rails right now, and he's sitting pretty right now.
Yeah,
Norberg knows it too.
Yeah, 4 tenths quicker last time by.
Norberg knows he's coming. Here we go, down to turn number 9. Ramos going by on Greenmeyer. So both of the Brazilian drivers coming on late. Kremer's the one that's fallen off the hardest right now. He's back to 5th. You mentioned Greenmeyer. She went up to 3rd, now back to 4th again. And Norberg, that mistake or that bobble, whatever that was, obviously he took a few looks back, was a little more defensive that lap, slowed the pace down, then picked it back up, found his groove again here with 5 to go, pulled that gap back to 3 car lengths.
Let's come to
that wasn't the cleanest exit. 3 or 4 car lengths through 1. He's got to be better in 1. He was decent. He'll pull the draft down to turn number 2. Final time around, Ryan Norberg in his return race. I mean, you talk about cementing a legacy in the sport. You take your time off. He's going to go undefeated from November through to February if he can pull it. But here's Morgado. Half a cart back. This could be it. These next couple corners, Rob.
Oh, look at that. Norberg took a bunch of curb coming through 7 to try to make sure he had enough room. Can he get the job done? He'll run the inside of the racetrack. Here comes Ramos as well. Greenmeyer, good run out of the corner. Norberg looks over his shoulder. Morgado not quite close. Rolling the corner speed through turn 10 and 11. Coming out of turn number 12. 4-time SKUSA Pro Tour champion. Super Nationals race winner. Kicks off the season with a win in X30 Senior at the Winter Series. Ryan Norberg, victorious over Mateus Morgado, 99 thousandths of a second at the line. Diego Ramos coming home there in 3rd. Hannah Greenmeyer turning her fast lap on the final one to go P4. That is 3 top 5s for Hannah Greenmeyer. Marian Kremers just didn't have it at the end of the race. He ends up 5th. Carson Morgan and Cole Morgan, the brothers Morgan, 6th and 7th. Cameron Weinberg up 11 spots from 19th to 8th. His last lap the best as well. Noah Baker. Welcome back to live coverage here on Kart Chaser for the final race of the 2022 SuperKarts USA Winter Series. My name's Rob Howden, joined by Xander Clemens. And Xander, time to jump in and get things underway. This is going to be a battle for sure. X30 Senior getting set to go, and we are looking forward to what should be an absolutely amazing main event.
Yeah, Diego Ramos, of course, going to start on the point here. We talked to him right before we went green. Let's take you through the starting lineup for your X30 Senior Final. Of course, Diego Ramos and Carson Morgan will make up the front row. We look back, Thomas Neveau, Noah Baker, row 2.
Row 3 and 4, Mateus Morgado alongside Ryan Norberg. Number 1 plate holder, Hannah Greenemeyer, starting 7th alongside Cole Morgan.
And rounding your top 10 here as they come on the front stretch, it's John Burke and Nate Cicero.
Field set, into the staging lanes, away we go. Green, green, green. And Ramos will take him through turn number 1. Drivers a little further back, a little more sense of urgency. Good to go out of turn 1 so far. They'll fan out wide. We go 2 wide, a little deeper in the field through turn number 2. Into 3, some aggressive moves. Morgado go into second early, and it's Neveau off the racetrack, as many have done in turn number 3. He'll lose at least, I want to say, 4 spots as Morgado aggressive to the inside. This has given Ramos a little bit of a gap. He leads. Morgado sits in second. Xander, good start here coming through the inner loop.
Yeah, I think Thomas Neveau was trying to give it up and just barely mistimed the gap, unfortunately, here coming out of turn number 3. Heck of a catch there, and a lot of dirt probably on the tires of the number 324 TKG Kart Republic. Unfortunate for Neveau, but a great start, as you mentioned, for Ramos, Morgado, Morgan, the top 3 across the line.
Yeah, I like what Baker's doing up to P3, but I'll tell you, Carson Morgan wants a win here.
Oh, Noah Baker, nice move in turn 4. He gets by, and now Carson Morgan is about to get swallowed up. Luckily, he kind of parked it right when he needed to. Will defend now from Norberg. That'll kind of stop the bleeding for the moment. He needs to probably block again into 9, unfortunately, to not get past. And Norberg going to send it anyway. He'll get by, and they're going to battle behind him as Greenemeyer gets shuffled by DeTulio. Louis Westover's coming in, and just like that, we've got a big gap here from 3rd on back. Morgado and Baker about 7 or 8 tenths back from the lead. You know, and then you go back about a second to Carson Morgan. I mean, Braden, you know, we've talked a lot about racecraft all throughout the day, especially you and I were watching the end of the KA Senior pre-final. When you get past like that the way Morgan did, I'm not sure there's a lot he could have done better besides maybe fully cover it off into 9.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, it's just to the point where, you know, if you really try to hold the guy behind, you're just going to end up costing yourself too much time, so you can defend a little bit. But if the guy behind does the job right, then he's going to be able to get by either way.
Well, either way here, they're still fighting. Look at this. Norberg and Morgan, again, this time makes it stick.
Yeah, Morgado first able to get by Noah Baker, so move Morgado back into P2. And I think really the driver on the move has been Ryan Norberg. He's been able to push his way forward. Started 6th, fell back to 7th, got by Greenemeyer, then was able to get by Morgan. Now closing up here on Noah Baker pretty soon as well, as he's starting to get to the front of that next group. So good to see the action up front here early. Morgado again aggressive. And Norberg losing a couple of spots, yeah. Norberg's lost 2 positions there. Both Carson Morgan and Alessandro DeTulio getting by. So that forward progress for Norberg stifled pretty quickly as he's now back, I believe, into the 6th spot. 8 second place finishes. He's already locked in the championship. He is the X30 Senior Champion for the Winter Series, but he's not yet won a race yet. He's going to want to go for a victory, no doubt about that. This is going to be him trying to get that win. Oh, we got a problem
for 3rd. Noah Baker has broken down at turn number 4 as the pass is made for what is now 3rd. Ryan Norberg and Carson Morgan. Norberg, an emphatic saying go ahead. Pass for the lead. Morgado goes by to turn 9, and we have lost 3rd place. Noah Baker head down. I don't know what broke on the car just off frame here for a moment, but Noah Baker, I'm glad we got at least the passes on shot. We'll see if we can get a shot of a deflated Noah Baker, and you got to feel for the kid, man. The rookie was having a heck of a run.
Yeah, position I would want to be leading, but I'm watching him, and it seems pace advantage Ramos right now. He's been able to hold just within 1 kart length of the car in front. Seems like he's just glued to that bumper. He definitely could make a pass anytime he wants. So, I mean, he can. It's kind of his call. I think. And if I was in that circumstance, I would be worried that if I pass to the lead, that Morgado might know that he's quicker and just try to battle and bring everyone else into it. So for me, it's tricky. I think he's doing a good job right now.
That's what you're weighing, right? You have to be able to go by to tell him that you're fast enough to go by him, but you don't want to start dicing and let everybody come back in.
Exactly. Right, because you're not so much instilling fear at this point. Both of those guys know what to expect when it comes to racing each other. You know, I think, and Braden, you're making a great point that, like, you know, from a strategy point, if you show that you're faster, I think that's the big question, right? If he does think he's got more pace, because if he's worried that he might not have the pace through to the end, that's when you go and you play the opposite card and you need to start passing Morgado.
Across the line, 2 to go here for Mateus Morgado.
Little mistake there by Ramos, clipped the curb here, Braden. I mean, what do you try and tell yourself? You're in Ramos' situation now. Morgado's turned it up. Are you trying to coach yourself not to overdrive? I mean, what do you do to find more pace when you feel like you've already, oh, whoa, did he just let him by?
I don't know that he would have let him by. Did he drop a wheel on the exit? All I know is that Ramos now goes to the lead. Wow. What just happened there? Ramos now the leader coming through turn number 8. It was out of turn 3. All of a sudden, does Morgado have a problem?
He lost some ground there, it looked like a little bit. Whatever it was, not good for Morgado. Ramos pulling away now by 3 or 4 car lengths.
Unsure what happened to Mateus Morgado. This would be his 4th second place finish. White flag flying for Diego Ramos. What has happened to Morgado? That last time by, he did a 49.1, almost a full second off the time he laid down before. Ramos stretched away. Xander's a half a second advantage.
He's definitely got something wrong here. I'm not sure. Braden, I'm sure you're scratching your head too. I can't understand how he's able to still go at what looks to be like 95% pace. But he's slowing down obviously here. Something's definitely amiss on the car for the AM Racing Engines X3. But Rob, whatever it was, this is exactly what Diego Ramos needed, because I don't know if he was going to get there and out of turn number 9. It's a big gap back. It's a huge gap to turn 10.
It could be. It's going to be 4 straight second place finishes for Morgado, but the guy that's going to get the win out of the final corner, the victor today to cap off this year's Winter Series is Diego Ramos. And he will win over Mateus Morgado. Something happened in the final couple of laps for Morgado. Not sure what it was as he falls back into second spot. Ryan Norberg, 3rd position, and everybody else capping things off. Man, that I think shook us all. We're all kind of looking around, wondering what happened. A 1-second win for Ramos. Norberg closing up on on Morgado near the end as well. Alessandro Di Tullio in 4th, Carson Morgan 5th. Hannah Greenmeyer ends up 6th, Thomas Naveau 7th, Louis Westover 8th, Cole Morgan 9th, Paul Bocuse rounding out the top 10, and a 19-position advancement for Marian Kremers from 27th up into the 12th position. I don't know what happened there, guys, but Ramos ends up getting the victory. Some kind of mechanical issue potentially for Morgado.
I don't know. I mean, he shook his hand right when he came across the line. Seemed all right. He didn't seem frustrated about I feel like he'd be a little more upset about a mechanical deal, huh, Braden?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, you know, with all the rain today, you never know if he just went a little bit offline, got over a curb wrong, and then just had water on his tires. But, you know, who knows? I'm scratching my head just as much as you are.
That weird.